The race for the La Liga championship is gradually coming to an end when Real Madrid just had another victory against Osasuna, while the opponent right behind them, Girona, continued to receive another defeat. Now, Coach Carlo Ancelotti's team can rest assured about the domestic tournament to focus more on the Champions League. As a guest at home team Osasuna's Ensada Stadium, Real Madrid is determined to win to maintain the gap with the group chasing behind. Osasuna is Los Blancos' favorite opponent. In the last 20 encounters, they won 16 matches and drew 4 matches. The situation on the field was quite easy for Carlo Ancelotti and his students when Vinicius scored the opening goal in the 4th minute. But Osasuna proved to the visitors why they are in the middle of the rankings, with Ante Budemir's equalizing goal just 3 minutes later. However, the levels of the two teams are too different. The remainder of the match saw Real Madrid score 3 more goals through Dani Carvajal, Brahim Diaz, and Vinicius. The home team also scored another goal in the final minutes, thereby closing the match with a score of 4-2 in favor of the visitors. With 3 points, Real Madrid continues to lead the rankings with a gap of 10 points compared to Girona. In this round, the Catalan team received a defeat with a score of 0-1 against Getafe. It seems that after an impressive half of the season, Girona has shown that it is out of breath. Their number of personnel does not allow the team to maintain stability for long-term racing. Not Girona, but Barcelona is Real Madrid's biggest opponent in the journey to the La Liga championship. It's just a counterweight, but Barcelona is also 11 points behind. If it wins against Atletico Madrid tomorrow morning, it will only have 8 points left. Of course, defeating Atletico is not easy, especially when they are still playing at Wanda Metropolitano's home field. Real's only loss in the domestic tournament was also a 1-3 defeat at this holy place in the first leg. Also, after that loss, Real Madrid did not receive any more defeats. The recent victory over Osasuna helped the team have 23 consecutive unbeaten matches in La Liga, equaling the achievement in the 2011-2012 season when coach Jose Mourinho was still leading the club. Not only that, but Carlo Ancelotti also reached the milestone of 200 victories with the Spanish royal team. Notably, it only took him 277 matches to do this, reaching a rate of 72.2%, an extremely impressive number. Speaking after this victory, the Italian strategist said, "I am very proud and happy with the team's victory today. We played well and won 3 points. Even though we are 10 points ahead of Girona, I think that gap is still not safe enough. We need to focus more on the next matches. The milestone of 200 wins is extremely wonderful, but it is just a number and cannot help the team become stronger. Real Madrid will only focus on matches and winning as many as possible." It can be seen that Real Madrid this season has no opponents in La Liga, although not every match they play well. The proof is that there were 7 unwinnable matches, including 6 draws and 1 defeat. But their opponents cannot take advantage of that either. Especially Barcelona and Atletico Madrid, there were rounds that Real could not win, but they were similar. The countless instabilities shown by the two teams above unintentionally helped the Santiago Bernabeu team continuously lead and become more favorable in reaching the finish line. The strength of the White Ants lies in their good attack when the quartet of Vinicius Jr., Rodrigo, Jose Lu, and Jude Bellingham contributed 44 goals in La Liga. Among them, Bellingham stands out the most with 16 goals, thereby helping him lead the top scorer chart. Once considered a crazy man for spending up to 100 million euros on a 20-year-old player, Perez has now proven that he was right to spend so much. In turn, Bukayo Saka and Martin Ødegaard both had the opportunity to shoot, but one couldn't beat Diego Costa. The other could only put the ball into the edge of the net, to the regrets of the fans. On the other hand, Porto is no less competitive with their tit-for-tat actions. They even almost saw Arsenal having to hold a grudge because of a mistake from William Saliba. In the 16th minute, the French defender had a bad clearance situation, causing Evanilson to win the ball and immediately launch a diagonal shot that missed the post. Surely, this will be an alarming signal for the Gunners because they have had to concede goals like that many times this season. And today, I don't know how Mikel Arteta's students will have to stand up and overcome the panic if Porto is the one who gets the opening goal. It didn't stop there. Just over 5 minutes later, Evanilson continued to make Gunners fans even more anxious. That was the situation in which the Brazilian striker received the ball neatly in the penalty area, turned around, and finished the shot, forcing Raya to show his talent to block it to save Arenal a goal. Although in the following minutes, the pace of the match was relaxed, it must be admitted that there was still a hidden danger coming from each organized attack by both teams, making fans feel it seemed like a goal could happen at any time. And then, in the 40th minute of the match, what all Gunners fans were waiting for finally came after dozens of efforts. Arsenal also found a goal thanks to Trossard. From a 1-2 combination situation with Martin Odegaard, the Norwegian captain created a quality pass to help Trossard escape, and without losing too much time, the ball between Pepe's legs and keeping the goalkeeper of Porto out of any chance to block. Before entering today's confrontation, there were certainly many people who were worried about the absence of Gabriel Martinelli, but now they have Trossard. From a substitute player, the Belgian winger shined to become a true hero of Arsenal. Since arriving in the Emirates, that has always been Trossard's value. He is always a reliable plan B. From helping the Spanish teacher diversify his attack tactics, to personally bringing about a breakthrough to help the home team overcome a difficult situation. Entering the second half, it was still a familiar scenario with more control coming from the home team. But we must admit that Porto is not an easy opponent at all. Stubbornness and bravery have helped the representative from Portugal prove that they are no inferior to Arsenal. Besides the tit-for-tat battles on the field, the drama of the match was also pushed to its climax with heated disputes at hotspots on the field. Porto has shown the pragmatism required of an experienced team in Europe. On the one hand, they actively tackle the ball very hard in 1-1 confrontations. On the other hand, they also do not hesitate to fall down to delay the opponent's playing intensity. By the 67th minute of the match, Porto's net shook again, and this time the one who scored the goal was Martin Odegaard. The first is the situation of Kai Havertz's efforts to create pressure, forcing Pepe to make mistakes. And in front of a goal that was already wide open, he did not make any mistakes to put the ball into the opponent's net. However, while the Norwegian star ran to the flagpole to celebrate, the referees determined that Kai Havertz had committed a foul, and the situation eventually ended with Mikel Arteta's yellow card for reacting. Tchouameni once said, "As long as the club needs me, even the goalkeeper I will do. Playing for Real Madrid is my greatest honor, and I am willing to do everything for this team." All of the above factors have created a Real Madrid that has no rivals in La Liga at present. They are racing towards the finish line, 10 points ahead of the chasing group. Even though the championship is almost firmly in the hands of Ancelotti and his students, he still does not become arrogant or overconfident. He always reminds his students to play better every day. No one is invincible forever. The important thing is what we learn after losing. And because of that, people still consider Real Madrid to possess the DNA of a champion. In many matches this season, they were behind or tied until the last minute. But in the end, when the final whistle rang out, Los Blancos was the club that won all 3 points. Once or twice can be considered luck, but doing it over and over again is called bravery. Real Madrid may not need to put all their energy into La Liga anymore, when in the immediate Champions League, they will face defending champion Man City. Ancelotti and his students will have to calculate carefully before thinking about repaying last year's debt. The supercomputer predicts that the Royal team only has a 36% chance of winning, but that's too much for Real Madrid.